Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something, something a lot of us might face. Needing cash, fast. Like an unexpected bill pops up, car trouble, maybe a medical thing, and you just need funds, like yesterday.
Right. And traditional routes aren't always quick enough or even possible for everyone.
Exactly. So we're going to pull back the curtain a bit on an online platform, 15mfinance.org. They claim they can help get you cash between $500 and $5,000 pretty rapidly.
Yeah.
Or the mission today, to really get under the hood and understand how that works, who it's really for, and, what it all means for you if you're considering it.
Absolutely. It's true. The demand for, let's say, accessible financial options is definitely there, and often it's urgent. So this deep dive hopefully will give you some clear, balanced info about how this specific platform, 15mfinance.org, fits into that picture, help you make more informed choices.
Okay, so let's get right into it then. This urgent demand. Let's peel back the layers on 15mfinance.org itself. What exactly is it? Our sources say it's an online financial platform, basically designed to connect borrowers with lenders.
Right, a sort of matchmaker.
Yeah, its main job is getting people quick loans, specifically in that range, $500 up to $5,000. And they suggest it's for all sorts of things, bills, unexpected costs, maybe even giving a small business a little boost.
Okay.
And they really stress that the process is simple, fast, and secure. None of that endless paperwork or waiting around for weeks.
What's fascinating here is how they position themselves, like as a direct answer for those really common immediate money needs. They're not the lender themselves, but the connector. That focus on connecting you with multiple possible lenders, skipping the usual red tape, well, it speaks to a real market need for speed and simplicity.
So for the borrower, for you listening, submitting one application means it could get seen by different lenders.
Exactly. Which, could increase your chances of getting an offer. But crucially, it also means you might get different offers with different terms.
Oh.
So you absolutely have to compare any specific offers you get very carefully. Don't just jump at the first one.
Makes sense. And that speed thing you mentioned, it seems like their core pitch, right? Our sources talk about these 3 easy steps. Step 1, apply online. Just a short form. Apparently takes only 2 minutes. Step 2, get approved. They say you get a quick decision, often within hours.
Within hours, okay.
And then step 3, get your money sent straight to your bank account. Sometimes they claim as fast as 24 hours.
Wow.
And they state no hidden fees, no complicated terms, just straightforward cash.
Yeah.
But approval within hours, funding in 24 hours.
Yeah.
That feels incredibly fast.
It is incredibly fast compared to traditional loans.
So from a financial angle, what does that speed actually mean for how they check things?
Right.
Especially if they're open to different credit types.
Yeah, if we connect this to the bigger picture, that focus on speed and simplicity, it's definitely key for people in a tight spot. That within hours approval, the 24 hours funding, that's huge if you're facing something time sensitive. Waiting days just isn't an option sometimes.
Right.
Technically, though, that quick turnaround usually means, a more streamlined underwriting. Instead of a super deep dive into your entire credit history, these lenders often focus more on things like your recent income stability, maybe your bank account activity, your debt compared to your income. They might use different data points. But, and this is really important, that speed usually comes because the lender is taking on more risk. And that higher risk, it often gets passed to you, the borrower, usually through higher interest rates or maybe fees like origination fees.
Okay. So the speed isn't exactly free.
Definitely not. There's usually a trade-off, and it's typically cost.
Yeah, that makes sense. But that promise of speed and ease, it always makes you wonder, who exactly qualifies? Who is this really for? A big question listeners probably have is, okay, but do I qualify?
Yeah, a very practical question.
The requirements seem pretty straightforward based on our sources. Got to be 18 or older, have a valid bank account, and show some proof of steady income. And they make it clear the income could be from a regular job or gig work, even benefits.
Okay, so fairly broad there.
But here's the bit they really highlight. Bad credit, no problem. They actually say that 15mfinance.org works with various lenders, so you still have a chance to get approved.
Right.
Now, that sounds great on the surface, but often that's a bit of a red flag for some in finance. What should people be wary of here? What are those costs usually like when a lender takes on that higher risk?
That's a really important question. Why is the bad credit angle so noteworthy for these services? Well, it massively broadens who can potentially get quick funds.
Yeah.
Lots of traditional banks have really strict credit score rules that just shut the door on many people who might be facing an emergency.
Sure.
But while it opens the door, it's definitely not a free lunch, like you said. Lenders have to manage that extra risk they're taking on.
And how do they do that?
Primarily, through the annual percentage rate, the APR, it's much higher. For these kinds of quick, unsecured loans, especially if your credit isn't great, APRs can be anywhere from, say, 36% up to even over 300% in some extreme cases. That's worlds away from a typical bank loan APR.
Wow, 300%. That's huge.
It can be, yes. So it's not really bad credit, no problem, cheap money. It's more like bad credit, maybe no problem getting considered, but be ready for potentially much higher borrowing costs.
Okay.
That's the crucial insight you need to have when looking at these options. Understand the total cost.
That really drives home the trade-off, doesn't it? Convenience versus cost. So if we look at why someone would choose 15mfinance.org, what are the main selling points they push? They talk about fast approval decisions in minutes, flexible amounts, so you borrow just what you need, $500 to $5,000. They say it's secure and trusted, and it's all 100% online. No banks, no in-person visits needed.
You're right, the convenience factor again.
Yeah, they sum it up as a hassle-free way to get the funds you need without the stress. Sounds appealing, that hassle-free bit. But for this deep dive, we need to ask, what does hassle-free really cover? Are there, hidden hassles or responsibilities borrowers might miss if they're focused only on speed?
That's a great point. All those benefits you listed, the speed, flexibility, online process, they do create a really strong pitch for someone needing cash quickly. The fully online part, for instance, that definitely caters to how we live now, needing things instantly, conveniently from anywhere. It empowers you with direct access, bypassing slower channels. But that convenience mostly applies to the application, not necessarily the repayment part or the financial weight if you don't read the fine print carefully. So the hassle-free claim, it puts a lot of responsibility back on you, the borrower. You need to be super diligent, understand the whole loan agreement, the total cost, the repayment dates, what happens if you're late before you agree to anything.
Right, because the speed means less time to think it over.
Exactly. The speed of the process means you need to have done your homework beforehand or be ready to slam the brakes and really read everything, even if you feel pressured for time.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. To recap our deep dive on 15mfinance.org, the main draw seems to be quick, accessible cash through a pretty slick online process.
Yeah, that's the core offering.
It connects you with lenders, offering that $500 to $5,000 range, even if your credit history isn't perfect. Seems convenient, easy. But as we've really dug into, that speed and accessibility, well, they often come at a price, usually higher borrowing costs, mainly through those potentially steep APRs.
Absolutely crucial to remember.
So understanding the full terms of any loan offer you might get is just non-negotiable, really.
Precisely. And maybe a final thought for you to consider. Understanding platforms like this, like 15mfinance.org, it can be empowering. Knowing your options for quick help in a financial pinch is good, but true empowerment comes from knowing the whole story, the benefits and the potential downsides, especially the costs.
Right.
This deep dive should hopefully get you thinking about, how personal finance is changing, all the different ways people can get funds quickly now. But the big takeaway, speed and convenience are great tools. But real financial control comes from understanding the complete picture, costs, responsibilities, everything before you jump into these rapid borrowing solutions. Always compare offers, always calculate the total you'll pay back.